Hello, Rob.
Hello, Marianne. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good, good.
It's so great to talk to you. So now we're doing an interview. I did travel around the world, and I did some interviews of people practicing in the DaXuan Taoïste tradition. And we are all studying with Serge Augier, our teacher. And today I am with you, and you are in New York. I am in France, and we will be talking about how did you meet the tradition and Serge from the USA. How did you find this French teacher?
Uh, all right. Mine is a long and interesting story. So
Okay.
I guess I'll start at the beginning. I've always done martial arts since I was 9 years old. That was my biggest thing as a kid. I think when I was maybe 5 or 6 when I saw Enter the Dragon with my dad. And immediately I was like, that's what I want to do. So my whole life I've been bouncing around. I did Kyokushin karate for over 12 years. And then I jumped into Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, stuff like that. And I always wanted to do a Chinese martial art, but anytime I joined a school and stuff, it was okay, but it wasn't like what I was looking for. So I used to be on these forums called the Rum Soaked Fist. It's like an internal martial art forum,
Okay.
and Serge's name would pop up, and
Okay.
I would looked up his name, copy and paste, and looked at it, whatever people were talking about, and I was really interested in. But Serge was in France and I was here, so I was like, man, maybe one of these days I'll go visit him. But what luck would have it is on the forum, one of his disciples, Arnaud, he was saying that he was allowed to teach in Chicago.
Ah,
And
yeah.
so I saw that and I got in my car and I drove 13 hours from New York to Chicago to go meet Arnaud when it
Okay.
came to it. So that's my first taste of the tradition. And meeting Arnaud was an amazing experience. It's one of those things that it shows how good a teacher Serge is. Because you always see those things that the teacher's really good, but then you look at the students and they're okay. They're not anything special. I mean, when I saw Arnaud, he blew my mind. He came. We saw each other in the park. I told him I had some martial art experience. He said, "Great." We started doing spinning hands, and he was like, in our tradition, we add striking, and I go, "Okay, cool." And with Kyokushin, I'm ready with bare knuckle and stuff. I'm like, "This is great." So we're spinning and spinning. I try to punch Arnaud, and I can't. My hand can't go through anything. So he's looking at me. He goes, "Come on, man! I said you can punch me." And I'm like, I'm trying." So he lightens up a little bit, and he's letting me punch him. And he's like, "Are you really punching me hard enough?" I was holding it back a little bit, yes, because I don't know the person, right? Sometimes, especially when you're in a martial arts circle, sometimes something friendly turns into something more than not friendly. You hit a little too hard. Someone goes, and all of a sudden, it's not a friendly thing anymore. It's a fight. So I'm going, and Arnaud just goes, opens up his arms, stands there, and he just goes, "Hit me." And that's the first time in my life I had a martial artist look at me and just go, "Just hit me." So I hit him. He goes, "Which hand are you, left or right?" And I go, "Right." He's like, "Why are you hitting me with your left? Hit me with your right." Okay. So I hit him in the chest. And he goes, "Come on, man. Is it the hardest you can?" So this time I go, "Okay." He's asking for it. As hard as I could, Marion, I hit him right in the chest. Nothing. Then I asked him, I'm like, "Since you're letting me hit you, I'm like, can I try one thing?" He goes, "Sure." He's standing here and I get as close as I can possible. And I just start doing body shots right to the liver.
Okay.
I'm like, let's see if he can handle these. I hit him at least 40 times. And all he did was look at me with a smile, like nothing. And already I looked and I go, so he goes, "Okay, you ready now?" Spinning it. We start spinning, and from maybe not even no wind up, no nothing, he just goes boop, hits me right in the stomach, and I drop. I think the first time in my life I ever just drop. He picks me up. He goes, "Breathe, breathe. It's okay. Breathe, breathe." So I breathe, whatever, and he goes, "How do you feel?" And I go, "Where do I sign up?" Immediately, I just go, how do I join? And
Wow.
yeah,
What a story.
It's
And then you joined. That's how you
it,
entered in the school?
yes. I started training with Arnaud first
Oh, no? Yeah.
through Skype, and he and
Ah,
I
yeah.
would Skype with each other, and he would get me through the basic hands. And
Yeah.
story gets interesting again because he goes, "You should come back in June." I go, "Okay." I go, "Just for training?" He goes, "Serge is going to be here."
Wow.
So I was like, "Wow, I actually get to meet Serge." And the whole time I'm thinking I have to go to France. I'm like, "Ah, he's coming to Chicago." So I go, "Okay." So this is depending on the story, how you see it. It's either a good or a bad thing. I said this. I go, "Hey, Arnaud, when I go there, I'm like, it's okay. Serge can hit me. You know, Serge can hit me whenever because, like, I just want to feel it, whatever." I'm like, tell him it's not a big deal. So when I finally get my chance, oh, Serge hits me. The whole time we're training, I am just being smacked. And he's not hitting me, hard, just very light strikes. But it felt like bricks every time on my chest. And he was very nice. He didn't destroy my arms or anything, just my chest. He's beating me up. Okay, everything was great. I actually had two of my cousins come with me this time. They're both boxers.
Okay.
Just like I wanted to introduce, like I was like, you guys, you won't believe this. You got to see. Anyway, so I go home, the hotel, I shower, and two interesting things. I take off my shirt, ready to shower. My cousin goes, "Look at your back. There's a perfect handprint of Serge that he placed on my back with a really light strike that when you turn around, it just perfect hand strike." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Second interesting thing, the next morning, my whole chest was black. It was bruised beyond belief. And I remember I show up the next day and Serge is like, "Good, how was it?" And I didn't know what else to say, so I just lifted my shirt. And Serge goes, "Ah, that's a really nice color. Hold on a second." He took a picture, took the camera, took a picture of this. He goes, "I have to send this to my wife." And ever since then, I've been part of tradition. I met Jeremy at that time. Arnaud was there, and Serge. And training was great. He let two of my cousins who were boxers come for the last day to experience, and they were convinced. And that was it.
Wow. And how long has it been? When was it?
I think either 2014 or 2015, so 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah. And how has been the training in your daily life? Were you training in your daily life before?
Oh, yeah, I was training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before I started,
Okay.
and then I was doing the training for Arnaud, and then
Yeah, you did you have been training with Arno on a daily basis.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, through Skype. We had
Yeah, of course.
Skype.
But you did put it in your life,
Oh yeah,
your
immediately,
daily life.
immediately.
Yeah.
And then I actually hurt my back because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ah, mince, zut.
Pretty,
Ah,
pretty
ah,
bad. But I stopped that, and thanks to the tradition, just through the training and
yeah.
everything else, and not just the training, the people from training, which Jeremy helped me out, and a lot of the other online students I made friends with, they've helped me out with little things. So it's not just the training; it's the wonderful people that are part of the training that makes it so special too. Because it's nice to see it's almost like a family when it comes. Like I don't have to worry about asking somebody a question or sounding stupid. Even though it's very easy for me to sound stupid. So it's nice to know that people are very forgiving and very patient when it comes to my questions.
And there is no stupid question. It's always something you're asking yourself. So it's a question anyway.
Yeah.
And how has this period, this last 5 years, did you see? You said your health was better, and you mended some kind of injury. And did you see some other good effect on your life?
Yes. Things. It's almost looks easy to say things not became easier, but it seemed to me that I seen situations a lot clearer. I
Ah,
had
okay.
a lot more time to be a lot of things that would stress me out, or it felt like it was too much, and then I would have to,
Mm.
I got to take a walk, or I have to do something else to distract myself till I felt ready. Not a big deal anymore. It's been easier to handle thanks to breathing exercises, the Shen Gong training, You realize that it's all up here, or you're not controlling your breathing and anxiety starts happening and you get overwhelmed. So it's a totally holistic thing, which is nice. The martial arts help it move quicker because it always puts you in that state of, if you don't breathe, you get tired quicker. If you're not concentrating, you could hurt yourself. So it's almost, you have to use everything at once. But it is beautiful that there's specific practices, like how well are you breathing? You think you're breathing well, but when you start the breathing practice, you find, oh, I don't breathe consistently. It's, it's like sometimes I breathe more in, or I exhale more out. And even when a thought pops in my head, my breath shortens, or I hold my breath when something happens. And so it's beautiful just to show your inner workings. Then everything outside gets a little bit easier because you realize the machine's not processing the information correctly.
You're right.
So once your machine gets to process everything correctly, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, very interesting metaphor. Yeah, from you change the inside, and then from the inside you see the outside differently.
Yeah, it's like having a scratch, or something on your glasses. It's not because everything outside was messed up. It's because something with you was messed up and it looked a lot worse than it was.
Yeah. And in your in your daily life, maybe the relation with people, or did you notice something special, or your sleeping quality, or anything that you would share to people?
Definitely with my relationships. Actually, I might go out a stretch, and I know someone might make fun of me, like, okay, guy, you're getting too into it. But I really do believe with the way how the training helped me just know me better. That's how I met my wife. Like, it was very coincidental of when I started training and then when I finally got to meet her. And it was, maybe 6, 7 months I've known her, and immediately I engaged her. And I was like, this is it. It was one of those decisions that was just like that. And I could see it was one of those things that I got to connect easier with people. I got to see what was more important to me in my life, and what kind of connections were really important to me. I was always a really big fan of like loyalty, like all my friends and stuff. I have a really close knit group, but now it's a little bit easier for me to let more people in. It's no more just my little group, my little thing. And Serge also he did my celestial mandate. So that's a huge help too, of your personality and how you act and react to things, and how sometimes you handle situations. It's almost scary how good and pinpoint it is when it points some things out. You like to hear the good things, but when the not so good things come out. But it's good to hear because now I catch it. I see myself when it comes to things. He always said, like, one of the things he goes, you're very close to people, but if someone doesn't hit your expectation of what friendship is, you immediately cut them off. It's like that. And he goes, that's not good sometimes. And he's right. It's like, there's no other way to think of it. So I try to give people a little bit more leeway. I try to give people a little bit more empathy and stuff. So I feel like that's how it helped me meet my wife, because if I was that rigid still, and if I was still very militant about has to be like this, and if I give you 100%, I expect 100% back. But no, if I needed someone like that, then the only best friend or any person who would love me would be only me. I'm the only one who would fit that expectation. So,
the celestial mandate, it's like, how do you know? It is so, so precise and so true. Together. And it's very interesting what you said about you know yourself better, so you also know what is better for you and who is better for you, who is good for you, and the way you can meet different people that you wouldn't have met before, maybe because you were on a narrow kind of mindset, and also a wrong one. If you, as you said at the beginning, if you see things clearer, you, like you said with the glasses, you see with clean glasses.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very interesting. Thank you for sharing. And now, you practice the three aspects: the breathing and the mind and the body. How do you feel about the three aspects?
They work perfectly together. The synergy between them is that's another thing what I love about the tradition. It makes a lot of sense. When you first start, you don't think, you know, you get the basic hands and you get the, you know, the basic sitting, the basic breathing. You go, that can't be it. Like this can't, there has to be some more, something special. I need to be under a waterfall standing on one foot or something, you know. But then when you realize that Serge gave you the keys to the castle right from the start. Like the basic hands are, if there's anything that, and a lot of my friends on I hang out with online from the tradition, they always make fun of me because I'm like basic hands, basic hands, basic hands. Like I'm always a big proponent of basic hands. But all the beginning stuff is so important. It builds that foundation. It builds that understanding of what you need to be doing next. And just because all the martial arts, when as a kid, my sensei in karate would always drill basics, basics, basics. Like if you're not good at basics, all the advanced stuff is not going to work. Mm-hmm. And I always remember that in my life going. So when Serge gave us the basic hands, not only did I see that, like, okay, basics, super important, but when you really start going deep into practicing those, he almost gave you like a cheat code into getting quicker to where you want to go to without all of, you know, you can do a nice Tai Chi form from somewhere, but it's going to take you a lot longer and longer hours to do it. The tradition is so precise and so easy and so simple that it's just like, okay, just, you know, up, down, or, you know, left, right, whatever it is like, that's it. And with the breathing and everything else, you find out same thing. It works with the basic hands.
Yeah.
To be incorporated, your mind needs to be clear, very clear what motion and what plane of motion you're trying to hit. Well, like, what's the point of this exercise? Mm-hmm. Everything is focused, and vice versa. Same thing. You take all the stuff you learn from your basic hands, your posture gets fixed a little bit better. You feel the muscles that you never thought you felt before in the back, the sides. So when you're sitting and you realize you're sitting and you're supposed to be, you know, still in your meditation, well, why am I tight over here? You know, and now you feel your body better. And now when you feel your body better, you know how to relax better. And all of them just work with each other over and over and over. It's like a self-test of self-maintenance that if you keep doing it, you can always find out where you're at a certain point anywhere.
And so you are always every day motivated to practice. No problem.
No, I mean, I'm human, so it's always going to be a problem. Some days you're tired, you went through this, you make it excuses, but I just do it. It's right. Just, you know, some mornings you don't want to brush your teeth, right? But you brush your teeth anyway. I see it as something that is beneficial for you, like it or not.
Yeah.
Whatever excuses, you have to brush your teeth. You have to take a shower. You know, you have to eat. You have to train. That's it.
No negotiation.
No, it's self-care. And when you start not sometimes you don't have to just think of it, oh, it's martial art practice, or oh, it's my hobby. Just think of it self-care. If you want to take care of yourself, this is what you do. And sometimes and some days you're not going to like it. And this is coming from a guy that martial arts since he was 9. You're human. There's many days that you just don't want to do it. Anything. You just want to sit down, relax, watch a TV show and not think about anything. But then you realize, like, all right, I missed this day and I'm going to miss another day. And then it spirals and spirals. So it's just like, all right, get up, do it. And then you realize you didn't want to do it. You start doing it. You feel fantastic. And it's like, I don't understand why I didn't want to do this. Like, I feel really good now. Exactly. And it's just like...
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to keep the memory of the sensation at the end of the practice, to re-motivate oneself when we are not motivated, as you say, because once you did it, it's like, wow, why before I didn't want to do it, I was too lazy. Why? Because I wasn't feeling so good. And most of the time. Wow, thank you, Rob. And would you like to add something also for maybe people who want to begin or know more about the tradition? And I think now you will also start to teach, I think.
Yes.
Right? So if you want to talk about what helps your students and what could help people right now and also in these days.
The best thing I can say about if you want to try the tradition is don't worry about questions. Don't worry about if am I doing the right thing? Is this tradition right for me and stuff? Serge says it the best. Train it, and if you don't like it, then it's just not for you. That's it. I like, obviously, you know, like I drive a Honda, but some guys like Lamborghinis, right? It's preference when it comes to training or whatever it is. But I would tell people, I guarantee you, once you start training, you train with an open mind and you just train. Don't worry about anything else. Don't, you know, internal dialogue, external dialogue, someone telling you this is not good and you should be doing this and, you know, Muay Thai is much better, whatever. But just try it. Try it from a guy that dabbled with everything. It will change you. Not only, I joined in for the martial aspect, I got so much more than I was expecting from training. So I would tell any student, just give it a chance and train. Just train.
Yeah, try.
Yeah, if a month of basic hands and the breathing and the meditation, I guarantee people, if you do it even 10 to 15 minutes a day, like a daily practice, you will change. You will not be the same person you were a month ago. You will see a visible outward, inward change, even if it's 1 degree.
Of
That's
course.
a lot. That's a big thing because people think it takes years to change out of habits and years to get healthy and years to meditate and get good at it. No, just do it. Make some time and do it, and you'll surprise yourself how, with a good system and an open mind of just practicing, how far you will progress just by following it. And it's all simple. Everything is simple. Nothing is complicated in this, especially in the beginning. Like everyone worries when they start martial art, they get worried, right? Oh, how do I stand and this is so well simply put out that it's just like, there's no wrong answer how to train it. Like the training will fix itself if you keep doing it. Keep doing it, and all of a sudden you'll see your posture, everything else will change when you do it. And so that's what I would tell people. If you ever even have a small inclining of doing something like this, just try it.
Try. Yeah, just do it. You cannot know if you don't try.
Yeah, and it's just you're gonna lose nothing. There's nothing to lose with it. So
it cannot hurt you. It can only, as you say, go from A to B. Even whatever is your A and whatever becomes your B, it's still a progress.
Absolutely.
Anyway, wow, thank you for this message, Rob.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Add something? Share something more? Or
I think I talked enough. I'm sure people already are enough of hearing my voice and how I'm gushing over this. But I would like again to thank you for doing this. This is fantastic. And I'm sure everyone else in the school, I'd like to thank them for their patience with me. Thank Serge, Arnaud, Jeremy, everyone who's helped me through this journey. I really appreciate it. And I hope more and more people come and join, you know?
Yeah, welcome to them, and thank you to Serge, and thank to everybody, as you said, and to the tradition. Thank you, Rob, for sharing so simply, and I like your way of saying things so straight. Thank you very much, Rob. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so
care.
much.
Bye-bye, Rob.